Hello lovely people, you are welcome to my kitchen. This is Max's kitchen and you are welcome. Today we are going to prepare coated peanuts. And today for our discussion, we have a story we are going to read and discuss and then help our sister who is a bit confused to also have an idea or know what to do, whether she's right or she's wrong. And so in our coated peanuts, we have 1 cup of granuts, salt, we have a half teaspoon of nutmeg, we have some baking powder, we have vanilla essence, we have milk, we have sugar, we have flour, we have more flour, then we have oil, and we also have our water on fire. What we'll do is we'll first parboil the peanuts. Some people, they don't parboil, they just start straight away, but I prefer parboiling it a little, then we'll dry it and continue. So we'll first put in our salt in the water on fire and allow the water to boil before we put in our peanuts. But while the water is on fire, we are going to search if there are some bad ones in it before we use it. Okay, I think this granite doesn't contain much bad ones. So okay, the water is boiling, so I'm putting in the peanuts and we'll allow it to boil, just parboil. Okay, so while we wait on our peanuts to get ready, I'm going to read a story for you to hear. Dear Sister Ajwa, I am 23 years of age and I've been dating a guy for 4 years. He is 30 years and always talk about marriage, but I am not ready because I am still in my 3rd year in the university. I wanted him to wait for me to finish and start working before marriage, but he is insisting we get married by December 2020. I refused and he is saying I have disappointed him and used him. Meanwhile, he hasn't spent on me. Everything is about my family. They take care of all my expenses, but he says I abused him and I don't know how. I also have the desire to learn some trade like sewing since we are home due to COVID-19. He says no, it's not necessary and will not allow me to even use it when we are married. Please, is it wrong for me to want to finish school and start working before marriage? He said if I insist on learning the sewing, then he will take a decision for himself. Is it wrong for a university lady to also learn sewing? Help me because I'm confused. So this is the story of our sister. And she's asking, is it wrong for her to want to finish a first degree before she gets married, start working before she gets married? Is it wrong that she's in the university and she wants to learn how to sew? He say if she insists on learning how to sew, then he will take a decision. And so my dear watching me, what do you think about this? Our sister needs help. Okay, let's go and check on our granite or our peanuts. Okay, so it's boiling and it's okay. We are not cooking it completely. We are going to drain it. And so we are going to spread it on this tray and then take it to the sun and allow it to dry up. Okay, so our granuts is dried now and we are going to work on it. We're going to mix our flour and everything and use it, but before then we'll mix our milk and sugar. Now the question is, our sister wants to know, is she right that she wants to finish school before she gets married? And the man is saying no, they should get married by December 2020. She is in the 3rd year. What do you think? Do you think it's wrong that a young lady in the university wants to learn some trade like sewing, probably hairdressing or anything? What do you think? Okay, so I'm mixing the baking powder with the flour. I'm going to add a bit of flour to it. Okay. And so what do you think? What advice will you give to this young lady? Do you expect her to go back to marry this man? Or she should forget about it at all? What advice will you give to a young lady like her? I'm adding the rest of the nutmeg to the flour. You know, when I read this story, I was like, wow, this is what I am saying. I'm not saying it's final. I was like, wow, how come would he say that if you make the decision to continue learning the sewing, then I'll advise myself? This is the advice for me I'll give. There is nothing wrong a young lady wanting to complete school before she gets married. I'll add a bit of flour to to the milk and the egg to form a batter. Adding a little again. Okay. And it's very good that every young lady, before you get married, you have something doing. You are able to earn your own money. Notwithstanding, we have some people who also got married while in school, 1st year or even 2nd year in the university, and they are doing well. We are going to add granules into the bowl and add some of the butter to it. We are doing this bit by bit. My strainer here, that will help me to strain the excess flour. So this is what I have here. I'm going to add a bit of the butter to it. Young ladies who got married even immediately after SS and their husbands have been taking care of them. They've been through university, even some have their masters. There are some too who got married after secondary school with no job and they are regretting today. And so nobody knows the future. So the best thing is you first have to make sure you have a work you are doing, because you cannot tell. And so if she wants to finish school, start working before she gets married, I don't think it's a bad idea. It's a very good thing for her to do, especially looking at her age, 23 years. It is good for her to think of finishing school, get a job before she would want to consider marriage. Let it warm up. Okay, so I'm trying to do it bit by bit. This is what I am doing. Okay, so I don't want it to get stuck on each other. That's why I'm doing it this way. And I'll try and then separate it. Now, my worry is for him to say if she decides to continue with the sewing, then he will advise himself. I'm beginning to think that this man probably is into another relationship, so maybe he wants to leave this lady, but he doesn't want to be the one to go, so he just wants to bring me something where the lady will feel like it's my fault. That is why that is why the relationship didn't work. Because what is wrong with a young lady in the university wants to learn trade? Who said in the university you can't learn trade? We have young ladies in the university who are into hairdressing and other things, sewing, and even business. I remember in my first year I was selling diapers and other things. I'm schooling, but I was still selling diapers. Who says because she's in the university she cannot do those things? And to say that even when we marry, I will not allow you to use it, I feel the man is a bit controlling. I feel this man will not help this young lady to make her own decision, or even when it comes to what she wants to do in life. I am not saying that is the case, but that is what I think. I know maybe you also have a reason, or you have some advice that will help this young lady to take the best decision. But I will advise everybody out there watching me that as a young woman, before you get married, make sure you have your own work. Yes, there are some men out there who will take you in without any job, and they will make sure that they give you the future you want. We pray for that. Amen. But what if it doesn't happen that way? Since we all don't know what the future holds, what will you do? And so this is what you are doing. And we are going to give it another quote. We are going to give it another quote. I'm going to put it back into this and then give it another quote. When you read the story, the lady is saying that this man doesn't spend on her. Everything is her family. And so what is the use that this man is talking about? It isn't like you are the one who have paid my school fees from level 100 up to this time, and I'm saying I will not marry you. But I want to understand the man in a way. It's not about money. Maybe the emotions aspect, maybe the expectations also makes him feel that if she's not marrying me, it means she has used me, because she has made me wait for her, and all the expectations and everything is going down the drain just like that, because she's not ready for marriage, so she has used me. Probably. If not so, then I don't know the kind of use this man is talking about. And so what's your advice for this young lady? For me, I would advise that she shouldn't feel guilty and sorry about her decision. She is taking the right decision. So at this point, you can use your hands to separate them. Instead of telling the lady that if you continue the sewing, I'm going to advise myself, I think the best way to do this is for him to give the lady that kind of assurance that when we marry, you can still get married and still learn these things. You can still get married and still go to school. But already you have made the lady to feel that when we get married, I will not allow you use even the sewing or whatever you want to learn. I don't think that is the best. What I believe is love seeks to build each other. That is what I know. That is what I think. Love seeks to build each other. And so in a relationship, I think each person should seek to build the other and not to bring the other down. Getting involved with you should not make me regret. Getting involved with you should not make me lose my dreams. Getting involved with you should rather help me to say that if I had not married this person, I wouldn't have become this kind of great person I am today. I wouldn't have been able to achieve my dreams. Through this person, I am now this and that. And I think that is the best thing. Okay, our oil is still on fire and it's on low heat. So
I will run, I will climb, I will soar. I'm undefeated. Oh, jumping out of my skin, pull the cord. Yeah, I believe it. Oh, the past is everything we were. Don't make us who we are.
Okay, so our oil is very hot, so we are going to fry our peanuts, and we are going to do that in bits. I see is that maybe this lady also has some fear in her that makes her think, no, I don't have to go into marriage now. And so I think the best thing to do is to talk to her in a way that she will take that fear from her, that will give her that kind of assurance that if I marry this man, or if I marry this person, whatever I want to achieve in life, in terms of everything good I want to achieve in life, this man is going to help me to get there. But if you make her feel like, even if you marry, even when you get married, this sewing thing or this trade you want to learn, I'm not going to let you use it. It's a way, in a way, it sounds like there's no future for me. That's how it sounds. That's how it sounds. So if this man can make this lady have the assurance and make her feel like, don't worry, don't be afraid, I'm going to support you, then I think it's the best thing to do. Okay, so at this point, our peanut is getting brown. Okay, so we can get it off fire. We can take it from the oil. Okay. So the second batch is almost ready. For me, every advice I'll give to every young person out there who desires to marry is, marriage is good. Yes, marriage is wonderful. But plan yourself very well before you enter into marriage. As a young woman, if you are going to school, go to school. Fine. If the opportunity comes for you to marry and you are okay with it, go for it. But the ideal way is for you to have a job that you are doing, so you can also contribute financially to the family. And also, there is nothing wrong having a degree and doing other jobs. Gone are the days parents thought it's all about going to the university. Now a lot of university people are into trading, sewing, cooking, crafting, selling, and a whole lot. Come to campus and see the number of people who are into business. Meanwhile, they are studying books. So it doesn't matter whether you are reading engineering course, medicine, to become a teacher, a lawyer, you can still learn any other trade you want. And another advice I'll give is that if someone wants to marry you and that person is not in support of your good dreams, then I will advise you not to go. If you don't see any future with the person, don't go. If you have any kind of doubt in you, don't go. If you have any fear and this person is not helping you to let go of the fear, then don't worry yourself. Relax. Take a break, because forever, very long. Forever is very long. And you wouldn't want to take that journey with someone you are not comfortable with, someone you fear will not help you to achieve in life, someone who seems to be over controlling. Okay, so we are frying our last batch. Well, I want to understand the man a bit. He's 30 years and he feels he's growing and needs to get married. And this young lady to 23 years also feels she's young, and so she's not ready for marriage now. How for do her? Well, 7 years intervals is not bad. 7 years intervals is not bad, but I believe that in life you should know your goal, whatever you want to do, so that if you are choosing a life partner, you choose someone who will help you in that line. So let's say this man wanted to get married this year, he should have gone for someone who will be ready at that time. So if they have dated for 4 years, means when they started dating, just completed secondary school and about to go into the university, or probably just entered the university. Now you ask yourself, this is the time I want to get married. Will she be ready at that time? You talk about all these things before the relationship, so that you don't enter into a relationship with a woman who is not ready for marriage at this time, and you are ready, and it will be like you are putting pressure on her. I think we should consider all these things when we want to enter into a relationship. This is my age. When do I want to get married? I want to get married probably next year, or in 2 years time, or 3 years time. This is the age of this woman. Will she be ready at that time? You discuss it. So we don't just enter and then one day you wake up and said, I want us to get married. Then she said, I'm not ready. Then it will be like you have deceived me, or you have wasted my time and all that. So the point is, all these 4 years, what were they discussing? What were they talking about? That this is the time the lady is saying, I am not ready for marriage. What were they doing all these 4 years? They were just watching Kumkumbadia, or they were watching what? Telenovelas, and so they didn't have time to discuss some of these important things. Okay, so this is the final result of our coated peanuts. My dear, you can try it at home and see how it will go like. This is so, it looks sumptuous and very nice. I want to tell everybody or whoever is in that condition that make a decision that is best for you. Make a decision that is best for you. Do not allow anyone to put pressure on you. Do not allow anyone to make you feel guilty if you are doing the right thing. There is nothing wrong having a job before marriage. A young woman, 23 years, there is nothing wrong being in the university and learning other trade. It's very lucrative doing that. And one advice I also give is, don't just enter into a relationship. Know your goal and discuss it with a person, and know that you both agree on the same level. Do not enter into a relationship 4 years, then later you realize that I cannot marry this person, or I am not ready. And so all these 4 years, what were they doing? We are waiting for your advice. Thanks so much for watching. God richly bless you. Bye-bye.
I will run, I will climb, I will soar. I'm undefeated. Oh, jumping out of my skin.